The reason is as simple as the old phrase, pick the battles. Don't fight unless you really have to. And then you fight to win. And that's why all of this is so dangerous. Because with the technology that exists right now, and with the lines, whether invisible or you see them or not or understand them, they are there on this planet of who would side with whom. And when that happens, this could be a very dangerous world to live upon for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Or we can move towards a more collective society. I'm not speaking of socialism or Marxism here. What I'm speaking of is getting back to community reliance. Instead of being reliant on your government or reliant on food from all over away, people would do well to learn to grow and raise their own food. Some of them find this impossible because they live in an urban environment. If you're living in a high-rise in Shanghai, you cannot have a garden and raise cattle. I joke, huh? What I mean is, the world needs to understand what is involved in obtaining the food that you eat. What is involved in allowing you to drive your vehicle from there to wherever. What is involved in being able to have a system where you can have fresh fruit in the middle of the winter. This is all a part of a global commerce. It's already there. It's already happening. By eliminating the rich and the poor from this perspective, in areas of things of food, of necessity, the world could share in a period of growth. Freeing up the monies of the that are spent on useless things, like for instance here in America, this war on, well, they've got their war on terrorism here, and they've got the war on drugs. So as soon as they kill off the drugs and the terrorists, I guess they have a bunch of money. But no, I joke, but this is serious. They could use that money to give every person in their country a college education. And I know for a fact there are teachers who would be willing to do this. America has become a society of service. They work computers. They don't learn the basics of moving themselves forward in the sense of creativity. Nevertheless, I am one who very much enjoys my time here. I will not speak ill of a country that's been so gracious to host me. But, I remained at Guantanamo because I wanted to change the minds of many of both the men and women, I guess I have to say, but mainly it was men everywhere. Those that were wearing the orange suits and those that were wearing the camouflage suits. To understand this is ridiculous. Your God, I can prove to you they're both the God of Abraham. That's what you argue about. You're talking about the same God. And understand this. God to you and God to you is like looking at a sunset. Okay? You both see the same sunset. But then if you have to describe it to someone, inevitably you're going to be describing it a little bit differently. And as that gets passed on, it becomes more and more different. So by the end, the two people who looked at the same sunset and enjoyed it standing side by side together, their words would betray them. This is why I make these tapes. This is why I don't write these down and ask somebody to translate it for me. Because you hear my voice, nothing else. I don't need anyone to interview me. I don't need anything flashing across the screen. If you want to listen, listen. If you don't, go listen to something or watch something else. But those of you who do, you must understand. Now is the time, and Dreamtime has become more powerful now than it ever was in the past. The ability for us to move freely within it has opened up many, many new channels of both creativity and productivity. There are a new breed of leaders who very much want the approval, the love of their people. We can assist in guiding them in our direction, in allowing them to understand that the way of peace and light that we speak of, the oneness, this is something that they understand when we speak of it in Dreamtime. Because you are able to convey an entire thought and emotion, not with words or visual images, but by actually conveying thought and emotion. Now, for those of you out there who think there is no hope, I want you to understand something. There is always a choice. Maybe not always a lot of hope, but there is always a choice. I don't care if you have been thrown out of a broken airplane at 30,000 feet and are falling to your doom. You have a few moments to think. You have a choice of what you think of. Every second of your life you make these choices. Begin by letting go of things that you can't change. Look at the circle around you, starting with yourself. You are the only one that can change yourself. People don't change because others nag them or force them to. People only change because they want to. Now look around that circle some more, those who you are close to. And as that circle extends out, you have things that you're not close to, but you're interested in. Keep that perspective in mind. Don't get upset when the government does this, or when your sports team loses. Yes, you can be sad, of course, but you understand what I'm saying. Keep things in perspective. And if I could ask you, please, once a day, take time, set a time of day, and try to make a conscious effort, one time per day, to take a few seconds and think in your mind, or say out loud if you want to, but think of what you're thankful for, grateful for. You may think you have nothing. You may think you have the worst life in the world. You may be right. But I still challenge you to try to find something you can say for which you are grateful. This does not need to be said to God because God is all around. God is everything. We have different names for our gods, but it's all the same thing. It's the ones, it's everything. And we are all a part of that. So even when you have nothing, you can still be thankful for your soul. You are an independent, sentient being who has the right of free will bestowed upon you by some creative force somewhere. You have the choice. You have the ability to make choice, to make a difference. My challenge to you is just one time a day, spend a few moments thinking of what is good. Your children, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your job, your cat, your shoes, the underwear you are wearing, the hat on your head, the pencil you are using. This is a nice pencil, you could say, huh? I make joke. But try this. Little steps at a time. When you dream before you go to sleep, think of what you would like to change in the world. Try to focus on that thought as you cross over from this existence to the dreamtime world. And seek those out with whom you wish to communicate. In the meantime, I will be here. From here, I am leaving to go to South America. But I have been given a new box. John was very generous to me because he used his own with little money he had to buy me a new portable recorder. And it's one like I've used before with the little handset. And I'm very excited because it has a, what did he call it? It's, what do you call it, guys? I can't remember what they're saying. It's kind of squishy. But anyway, he showed me, he goes, watch this, and he dropped it on the floor and it still worked. And then we laughed a lot about it. So I will be sending in tapes. I will be doing it in perpetuity. You must understand, no matter what happens, I will still be here. No matter what, I will still have words for you. And those of you who know me understand that sometimes it's what I say in between that matters the most. Sometimes one word in a rambling is what strikes that chord within you where you remember this. You remember what I speak of. It feels like the truth because it is the truth. With this I will close. And I will ask you to please assist us if you can. This is Yahweh. Over and out.